Hi guys, welcome again to our channel, our show, Tech Central. As always, I'm Sylvia Macario,
And I'm Romalisi Shimwe.
Last YouTube video, what we did was on professional skill sets that you should have as an engineer or as an IT expert in the field of technology and engineering to be able to move ahead in your career.
Yeah.
But then some of you reached out to us and we wanted to just break down all these qualities to expound on them further. And today we are starting on networking.
Definitely.
And I wanted to to hear from Romalise on why networking is really, or why does it matter and why it should matter to you too. Yeah.
So thank you very much, Sylvia. So networking is very, very important as much as doing business is important. So, as you do business, of course, you want to expand your knowledge. You want to expand your network as well. So you need to expand everything in that corner. But today we're going to focus on networking, just for the sake. So why we care about networking is because if you're doing business, you need to do business with people. Okay? Some people will be your employees, others will be your employers. Some others can also be your clients, your potential customers. So that's why networking is very important in all these circles.
And also your workmates, I think.
Of course, and your workmates as well. Even acquiring new friends, that's also part of the networking. So that's why it's important. We can't talk about business if we don't talk about networking.
Yeah, because it's part of, really, it's the core part of the business.
Definitely.
Or getting a job or something.
Yeah, especially if you're an engineer. If you're an engineer, you want to give services to people. So you need to network with those people in the first place.
Yes.
So without further ado, why don't we dive into it and start exploring these aspects? Yeah. So how do you approach networking?
For me, networking has been through, I don't know, it comes sort of naturally for me, and I probably got it from my dad. My dad has this spontaneity with people. He just approaches people and talks to them, and before you know it, they're friends.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily friendship, but how do you view that kind of relationship that, for example, we met in grad school, and that's how we had common ideas, and that's how we ended up starting to create this YouTube channel. And yeah, for me, it's just trying to understand people, what their interests are, and that's how I then go ahead and approach them and start talking to them based on their interests. Before you know it, you've formed a bond that could last forever for others, and for others it's short term. I know it depends. What about you? Like, what is your networking approach like?
Yeah. So my networking approach is almost similar as you said. For me, I'll go a little bit further and be intentional about who I network with.
You're picky.
Yeah, I'm picky. Anyway, I'm open to anyone, but sometimes you want to, you have this intention to meet someone because there's a potential business, probably potential opportunity that you would like to get from them, and so you need to be intentional about it. So that gives us to our third point, where we say, how do you identify the right person to network with? So, for me, I need to first of all do a research. It doesn't have to be a very deep research, but I at least need to know some information about you.
Dude, you're very analytical.
Yeah, definitely. So you need to know who is this person. How am I going to benefit from knowing them? How am I going to benefit from being part of their connections? And so I identify a point, and also now I get to approach you and say, hey, hi, this and that. But first of all, I have to know why I'm approaching you, and also I need to have an end goal in my mind. So I need to be intentional about doing that. That's how I identify my network.
Yeah, I think it's kind of similar to you, but then it also depends on the kind of setting that I am in. If I'm in a cocktail party, or I'm in a conference, or anything that requires me to be in a place where there are several people, obviously, as you said, you have to do your research and know who you're going to meet.
Yeah.
For example, if you go to a conference of 2,000 people, you're not going to talk to everyone.
Definitely.
You have to be very intentional, as you mentioned.
Picky, to be honest.
All right, now I agree with the pickiness.
Yeah.
Not really picky, but you have to decide really what do you want, and how can you achieve that, and which person, as you said, just adding to what you said, which person is going to add to your skill set or your career, who's going to help you expand your career and stuff like that. I think sort of similar.
Yeah. So as you see, starting a conversation with the strangers is sometimes very difficult. So when I talk a little bit about how do you start a conversation with someone you want to network with for the first time, they don't know you, maybe you haven't talked before with them. So how do you start a conversation? And you gotta make it very interesting, right?
Yes.
Because you don't want them to be bored when you start.
So obviously, you don't want to have someone feel like you're some weirdo or something.
Yeah.
And you want someone to feel safe by you approaching them.
Yes.
So sometimes it could be if you know them, for example, you can just comment on their how smart they are, and just catch up on what they have been up to, so that you see if there's things or synergies that you could have together. Or sometimes you could ask someone to introduce you, someone that knows them, to introduce you to someone that is new to you. That is like the easiest way to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you don't know them, just go ahead and introduce yourself and just say, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I'd like to meet you because I like what you are doing in your organization, and I'm really quite interested because this is what I'm doing, especially if it's really matching up with what you're doing.
Yeah.
That could be one way to
approach it.
I don't know.
Yeah. So for me, there's something I've learned over the years. People like talking about themselves. People like talking about what things they do. You know, people are thrilled when you ask them about how they're doing in their career, or I've seen you working on this project. How did it go? How did you come up with that project?
Actually, that's genius. People like when you are interested in what they do.
What they're doing. So that's my approach mostly. So I'll walk over to you and say, hey, hi, how are you? Well, of course, I need to do my due diligence. As you have said, you need to be introduced, or you need to introduce yourself, things like that. But then once we've done with the introductions, then I need to start a conversation over a topic maybe you talked about, or over something that I know you do and something you enjoy.
Right.
And then ask you more about that. For example, I'll be like, hey, Sylvia, I know you like geospatial engineering, right?
Right.
So there's a project that NASA was working on and this and that. So what do you think about it?
And that's how the conversation starts.
Yes. And of course, then you talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Then later, you will at least become friends for a few minutes.
And then you hand over your card. You just don't go handing over your card before.
No, hey, hi, this is my card. How are you?
People would be running away from you, actually.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so the key point here is to get the conversation interesting. How do I get it interesting? How do I make a conversation interesting? And by making a conversation interesting is to make the person you want to contact talk about things that they're interested in. Yeah. And then you'll be there to me. You like it, of course you need to like it, but you have an end goal.
You have an end goal, obviously.
Yeah. So that's why we're going to go into the how do you close a conversation. Because you don't want to stay there for 2 hours.
Call to action.
Yeah, call to action, as you said. Even if I say it's too technical. But yeah, it's a call to action. Every networking event or session, if I can call it that, there needs to be a purpose. There needs to be a reason why you went there.
You don't need to do that randomly, actually.
Yeah. So how do you end the conversation, and why do you get from it? Yeah. So, of course, you hand over a card, but then why?
I would hand over a card and just say, I'll shoot you an email and see if there are synergies that we could have together, or please shoot me an email if you think my skill set would be beneficial to your organization, so based on what you discussed.
Definitely.
So that's how I would approach it. Or as the person, as the young professional or young person looking for an opportunity out there, this is someone you've met who's already in the industry, I would rather say that you take the initiative to write the email first and just say we met here and this is what we discussed about, and this is the kind of project that I mentioned to you about in line with your company.
Yes.
Let me know if there are synergies, such and such. So
So-
yeah, that's the way I would approach it.
And the good thing, as you said, to send an email, you need to do this within 48 hours
Yeah,
before
yeah.
they forget about you completely.
Because people forget after
lot.
2 days?
No,
No,
after
1 day. After
actually
1
1 day,
day,
yeah.
people forget about you
Yeah.
really because they move on with their life. Yeah.
So if you are too lazy, just don't go beyond 48 hours.
Yeah.
Because after 48 hours, people have met already like dozens of other guys.
Yeah, and
And
I've
so-
forgotten about you.
Yeah. So you need to make your image stay, first of all. You need to stick in their mind, and also you need to send a what do you call it? Follow-up email.
A follow-up email.
Yes.
Mm.
So I think we can close about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Next time, I think this is part 1 of networking. We
Mm.
wanted to make it 2-part series because we wanted to talk about this, why it matters and how you should do it. And next time we'll talk about the do's and don'ts of networking.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll just tell you the dark sides and what you should do actually, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
All the
So
time. So thank you guys.
Yeah,
Stay
thank you
tuned
so
for the
much.
next episode.
and make sure you subscribe.
All the
Down
time.
below.
Down below. All right.
Yeah, so that you don't miss out on
Yeah.
the next episodes.
All right.
See ya.
Ciao. Bye.